Warm good evening to all the participants for this final day International Faculty Development Program and the Art of the Craft of the Teaching for research. Now let's begin the session with a brief intro of today's resource person, Professor Fraulein Mobo. It's my pleasure to welcome our special resource person and our Honorable Chairman, sir, and all the delegates from various places from in and around the world, and my dear faculty members. Welcome you all for this 7th day session. Let me have a brief intro about our resource person for the first session of today's. Professor Fraulein D. Mobo. He is a graduate of Doctor in Public Administration from Udanta City University, class of 2016, and a graduate of second doctorate degree, PhD in Development Education at the Central Luzon State University, Nueva Ecija, Philippines, class of 2022. After obtaining his doctorate degree, he was promoted and assigned to the position of Assistant Director, Extension Coordinator, and Associate Professor of the Department of Research, Development, and Extension in the Philippine Merchant and Marine Academy. And this gave him an opportunity to work with different international research institutions, such as Regional Director and PhD Lecturer in Cell Academic Malaysia, Lecturer in the Graduate School, Columbia College, Olongapo City, and at President Ramon Magsaysay State University, Zambales. He was also appointed as the editor-in-chief of the International Journal of Multidisciplinary Applied Business and Education Research, Malang, Indonesia. As a researcher by heart, he is an external peer reviewer in various international research journals and has been invited as a keynote resource speaker at various international conferences abroad and at international universities around the globe. In 2019, he was named Outstanding Alumnus in the Graduate School of Udanta City University, Pangasinan, and from 2020 to the present, he was a multi-awarded international researcher and global leader. Recently, he was appointed as the Ambassador at Large, Country Ambassador, and Director for the International Human Rights Movement Philippines under the umbrella of the United Nations. At present, he was appointed as a technical researcher evaluator by the Department of Science and Technology and has been able to publish 70 research articles with 39 citations in ResearchGate and 33 citations in Google Scholar and indexed in Google Scholar. Cross-reference dimensions, road, skillet, Garuda, ICIC Copernicus, ScienceGate, ISI Indexing, Semantic Scholar, EBSCO, Dodge, Cinta2, and CHED Accredited Journal, and Asian Citation Index, Harvard Library, then Earth Plus, Philippines, e-journals, and Publons, Web of Science. He also published 12 international books in Europe, Indonesia, and India. We are really honored to have such a wonderful resource person for this session. Sir, I really welcome you for this session. Sir, now the session is yours.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Frelon D. Mobo from the Philippines. So it's really nice to be invited in this momentous event. So is it visible, my PowerPoint slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, visible.
Okay. Okay. So for tonight's discussion, I was given the task to discuss about the trends in research publications. So this is actually my task as also as the assistant director for the Department of Research, Development and Extension at the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy, and also as the editor-in-chief in International Journal of Multidisciplinary Applied Business Education Research. So my work is more of the publishing research, more on do peer reviewing. So on the first part, during the pandemic crisis, a lot of educators and scholars felt devastated because they thought that they could not continue with their academic and scholarly work because of the situation that take the present situation. But the good thing about the research and publications and under submission continues to grow eventually because this leads to researchers and scholars to come up and to write on topics related to COVID-19. So that would be the start of the new normal in the trends of research publications. So a lot of researchers and scholars opened their doors to research and development during the pandemic, just like what I have experienced, because even you're doing an online work, you can still publish your work. You can still mentor your students in terms of research publication. So just like what as I have said in other conference and fora, this is just a pandemic we are facing right now. And we need to think up or innovate a new strategy in order to survive on this battlefield, especially in doing research and publishing your output in a reputable journal. That's why a group of researchers, like my friends from Turkey, the ICSAD, the Institute of Economic Development and Social Research, and also other international research institutions, which is also my group in Malang, Indonesia, facilitated its call for papers globally by using this kind of alternative mode of presentation, by using, for example, Google Meet or Zoom. So that's why we could continue doing research collaborations and publications globally that can be indexed in reputable, highly indexed database such as Scopus, Web of Science, and of course in other indexing databases which is based in Asia, which is the ASEAN Citation Index, and also the other highly recognized or ABSCO indexing. And of course, part of that, also the journal publications, some of the companies or publishing companies waive the article processing fee or charges. This is to give way a chance to those scholars who are greatly affected by the pandemic, especially to those writers, because they could not even pay. So this one can help. And this is the one, the adoption of this new research culture through the use of technologies-based platform such as ResearchGate, Google Scholar, Mendeley, and other web-based application that can be used and also encourage scholars and writers to persevere in their efforts to produce a good publishable paper that is globally readable and can be cited as many times as the researchers have read it, especially if this topics is co-related to pandemic. So this is a new approach or a new thing that can be accepted in the publication sector. That's why other publications, just like what I mentioned a while ago, offer also a free publication and even research conference because this can be done online, virtual. And I think this will be part of the hybrid program because right now, for example, in the Philippines, in other areas, even there's still a pandemic, they are doing hybrid of mode of conference, even this kind of webinars because the COVID will be there. So part of that is to adopt technology platform that can be used as part of the continuous process of doing research. That's why as a researcher, for example, me, as a researcher by heart, I will promote and introduce new research methods in the area, for example, in the type of research design, in the qualitative area, the quantitative, and even mixed method research that can design locally or globally. Let's say the researcher would also like to conclude, not to conclude, but of course, there's a big opportunity in research and development and also in publication in this time of pandemic. So it is okay to stay at home just like what I'm doing and do collaborative research that can be cited in publishable in reputable journal which is indexed, for example, in Scopus or Directory of Open Access Journals, Doge, and even in the Web of Science and other high impact factor indexing databases. So in the research trends right now, especially in the publications and writings, the pandemic has not only affected the publication but the readership trend as well in the multidisciplinary journal or in the areas in other sectoral areas in research. So we can see a steady increase in COVID-related articles which is compared to other diseases or other topics. Just like which is being cited according to Pareho of 2021 in other publications, journals such as PubMed, they cited that in 29 between 2019, 2020, and 22, that is between during the pandemic, that the research trends really made it up to the top area. Because in this field, in this time of pandemic, we can adopt, promote policies that would be able to create new policies that can be part of the research area. So a study also found that the publication examining the relationship between the pandemic and the education focus also in other platforms. For example, online education, teacher education, using other platform like for example, the learning management system can be integrated as a new alternative mode for other countries. That's why, for example, in my case, during the start of pandemic, I didn't stop to write research. But what I did is that's the time that I have started to write my article, and it increased up to 71 publications as of now, which is really indexed in highly publishable journal databases. And it has already, as of now, 41 citations. Okay? So which means that the process of doing research will not stop, but it will grow continuously, which is being cited according to this author, Karakos and et al. Of 2021. That's why another study showed that they have focused also largely on remote teaching, which is this is a new term that can depict online distance learning, just like what I have discussed a while ago. This can also be done using other platforms because this can be a new approach in doing part of the research. Because during the pandemic, there are so many areas that can be researchable. For example, in the educational technology, we can uh, do a research about the policy making that can be published in other journals, or for example, a research about using a technology platform, the learning management system, just like what I have done during the start of the pandemic. I focus on the new approaches in technology platforms, which I also published that in the area of, for example, in the learning management system. That's why the study findings and propositions suggest that this pandemic will be the catalyst, or this will be the start, or they force us to adopt changes, just like what happened to our country, to my country, in the Philippines. We forced to adopt new platforms using ICT-based technology platform that would be the theoretical empirical attention of researchers, because this opens a roadmap and an opportunity to conduct research for particular long-term planning. not only for short term but for long term planning that can be adaptable to all other higher educational institutions or even in other research institutions. Okay, so the most publications which are being made during the time of pandemic is focused on the in the country of America and China, which is most of the keywords is related or relevant to COVID-19, the online education, and the distance education. And one of those, the most cited authors, has been shown on the screen, as highly being cited in most journal, which is being cited by Yabus and other authors of 2002. That's why the total number of papers captured the search criteria over 10,685. They were included on the website, for example, in the Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and this even lasts for more than 16 weeks, which created a narrative review expert, opinion paper, or even cases, series, or reports that aligned, related, which is relevant to COVID-19. And part of that, of course, that if we go back during the first year of pandemic, which is the year 2020, a lot of users and publications now, as you see on my screen, there are a lot of 7,164 journal publications open its door to accept papers and to publish which is related to COVID-19. And also preprint, which can be uploaded, that can be cited. Okay? So which means that the pandemic is not part of a hindrance way, but it opens door, an opportunity for us, researchers, scholars, to continue our drive in doing research and find ways. Okay? That's why this time of pandemic, there are a lot of opportunities to do. This is one of the new normal approaches that can be adaptable by the system so that the system of our government will be sustainable and will develop. Just like what is being cited in the United Nations SDGs. So on the horizon, even the libraries have opened their gateways to relevant informations and knowledge for conducting research and development on related subject areas during the COVID-19 pandemic. For example, it focuses, for example, on the medical area that they want to find ways and means to stop this pandemic. No, for example, in the country, in our case, they try to look for a policies and medicines that can be done on a research way. That is according to ASIP and other authors, which is been cited up in year 2020. So based on the statistics that we have, according to this source, the most countries that doing research, which is being published in highly, uh, highly highest PubMed publications is the country of US, follows the China. So which shows that during the time of the pandemic, they never stop, but they continue to publish. That's why it's really nice. Even you're doing your work from home, you can still do research, which can be, for example, be published and accepted in an Scopus Index or even in a Web of Science. And that is a good opportunity for us, researcher, to grow even more better. So that's why COVID-19 research articles, the sharing of this disease is seen as a poster to open. Just like what I mentioned a while ago, that's why there are three recommendations which is focused on encouraging their paper to be uploaded in a preprint and later it can be accessed by other authors, then it can be cited as well. So that is a win-win both for the authors and also for other researchers. So this is the time that majority of the research institutions open its door to have a file handling database for research for preprint. For example, we have the very popular, which is the social science or the SSRN. That is, I think, under Thomson Reuters, if I'm not mistaken. So it's one of the good preprint servers that you can upload your paper. So research publications in the sector of research publications during the time of pandemic didn't stop. So as we show on the screen, for example, the Sage Journal, they focus also on the topic of COVID-19 because you know that pandemic during the time of pandemic there are new opportunities. For example, policy making, coming thinking of a scientific way to stop that, an antidote, a medicine, everything. So that is one of part of a good researchable topics that can be done and can be considered for publications. So as you see on the screen, there these are just as examples. So here are some journals that really accepts topics regarding COVID-19. That's why number of coronavirus articles or should I say COVID-19 research reaches over 23,500 on major databases. For example, in Thomson Reuters, Scopus, or Web of Science, during between those year 2020 and up to present, doing research is highly acceptable. And also in online repository, it is also good because even it is not being published properly, but as long as your paper is can be recognized by a highly reputable peer preprint servers or just considered for publication, it's a good start. For example, we have preprints just like the scientists, the medrex. Okay, and as shown on the bibliometric survey that between those years, these are the countries that focuses on research. That's why the journal papers, it reaches about 2,602, preprints 1,425 based on the given statistics. So which shows that during the pandemic, all authors and scholars did not stop, but they want to explore, discover things that can be adaptable to the new normal situation. And also, for the Clarivate Web of Science, journal citation reports in 2023 really increases, just like what I have experienced. I've started to focus on the publications to upload that in ResearchGate. So up to now, I have 41 citations in Google ResearchGate, and I have 33 citations in Google Scholars. If you're going to check the bibliometrics or the statistics of your research, it seems that majority of the authors really patronize your publications, and if there's a good opportunity, it will be part of your citations. Okay, just like what I have shown in my screen, this is my research gate profile. So it shows the statistics, how many papers I have published already, and how many uh, citations that I have in my ResearchGate profile, even in the Google Scholar. That's why this thing is really a good part. So my concluding remarks is that this is just pandemic, so we have to think other ways. So you can do research just like what I have done. Okay, and part of that, if it's okay with the management, I'd also like to invite few scholars or researchers to submit their papers in my journal, a call paper for multidisciplinary. So here are the following. This is for the issue of 10, which will be for November. Okay. So if you want to publish, you can just go on this website. Then another thing is I will also market our upcoming conference, which is also based in the Turkey and Philippines. So we are accepting papers, and all those papers will be published in my journal. So this is a good research collaborations that can start the our and met new partners for possible research collaborations, research partnership, research publications that can be indexed in a Scopus base or Web of Science. So it is really a good opportunity for us to have these things. So I think on that, on my part, that would be all. And once again, thank you for inviting me as one of those international presenter. Okay. So with that, thank you. Good evening and Once again, mabuhay and always stay safe. Okay? Thank you and magandang gabi sa ating lahat. So that will be the last of my presentation. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I hope I have delivered something which is really new on the part of the trends in research publications, especially in this time of pandemic. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Participants, you can
Yes.
ask your doubt related to research publications and publishing in journals. You can ask from our resource person. Sir is ready to answer your questions.
Yes. Any questions so far? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Haruna Ibrahim. You're raising your hand.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, good afternoon from Ghana
Yeah.
and good evening in India and the rest of the world. Good morning. My name is Ibrahim Haruna. I'm a medical practitioner in Ghana. My first question is your last slide. I want you to, if you could elaborate a little on the basic requirements for you to qualify into the international conference that you'll be organizing in December. In terms of your publication, what are your requirements?
Uh,
Abstracts, how many words, introduction, those things. Yes.
Actually, sir, it was in the website, but you have to submit first for the conference. You can submit an abstract first, and once your paper is qualifies in the criteria of our conference, then we will be notifying you to prepare for the paper presentation. It's in the website, sir, and it's in the poster. So the link it's there, the all details is there. Now the discipline is this is a multidisciplinary one.
Okay.
So
So
first
multiple
you have
disciplinary means that.
yes,
All right. I'm listening.
yeah,
So
and
you're
then the
accepting
abstracts will
research from every.
yeah in every area, in every discipline, in all disciplines.
All right. Okay. So could you please share your official email address so that some of us
Yes,
who
sir.
are interested would like to
Yes,
share with you um
yeah,
in
sure.
subsequent years. Yes. All
Yeah,
right.
sure.
And then thank you for a very good presentation. It was very enlightful. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I hope that I have shared and helped our research community in terms of publications.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Any more questions from participants side? Shall we move on to the next session, sir? The participants, am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am, you are very much audible, Mahalakshmi, ma'am. Our next resource person will join us within 5 minutes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Meantime, I request all the participants to stay back after the second session. We are going to have the valedictory session. So I request all the participants to stay back till the end of the session.
All right. Yes, please.
To be with us throughout the session. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, I would like to make a contribution. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yesterday I humbly requested for an assistance from the moderators of the program in terms of collating all the email address of the presenters. We would like to follow up to them for advice and direction. Some of us will need them in the course of our studies. I will be going to study very soon. I'll be going to do my master's in Europe, and I will need their expert advice. Likewise, some of the colleagues on the on this platform. So we will humbly ask you to collate the email address of all the presenters from first day to seventh day for us. We will really appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Sure, sure.
So can I ask Dr. Folland some questions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Doctor, please, what is your area of specialty in research?
Actually, my area of specialization is, since I have a double doctorate degree, I practice more on the area of ICT and social sciences. More of my publications focuses on those two areas.
On
So
those two areas. Okay.
I'll be sharing my contact email and the website of the upcoming conference. If you want, you can go browse of this. So I have shared on the screen the my email address and also the conference for the December. So that's my email address, and that's the conference link. Then if you want to submit papers for publication, here is the website of my journal. Website journal is www.hmabeerjournal.org. So that's the website journal and the conference link. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or contact me in WhatsApp. Number is this one. So that those are my contacts.